Hello, hello, hello. This is Roleplay Cafe. This is Joth, Blackfish Bay, sessions number 43, I think.
42, is it?
42. Okay, see, that's funny. I wrote down 43 question mark.
Okay, I could be wrong.
I think you're right. It doesn't matter, but
My notes say 40.
what happens is the further we get, the harder it's going to be to remember.
Yeah, I know.
And we're
but
here
thankfully,
with,
we have your wonderful recaps. Keep us.
well, thank you very much. I try.
Straight,
We're here with John as well and Justin, and we're ready to roll, Todd, so take it away.
All right. So, now, since our last session, where the heroic Eagle Eye Lauren took down the bugbear at Stony Lonesome as he was escaping. Since that time, and I won't go into that tale because, George has probably been telling that tale all around the area.
Right.
At various taverns and such.
He emphasizes that the bugbear was running away, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I can imagine as he hits the high note, the arrow penetrated his back.
Yeah. So, but now, what happened shortly after that? That evening, after you had defeated the goblins of Stony Lonesome, and you were celebrating in the tent of Jacotus lower down the slopes, you saw a shaft of light shoot up into the sky to the east towards Bricket Bottom. Right? And when that happened, Jacotus was somewhat disappointed. And at that time he said, it looks like my friends were unsuccessful. It looks like the portal has been opened. And now, since then, almost 6 months have gone by. We've gone through the autumn and into the winter of the 250th year of the reign of Thraxus. And we are now into the late month of the month of Bittermoon, which is like our February. And things have changed quite a bit. There have been a large number of folks coming through the portal from Joth and taking up residence in the area. There's been a bustle of activity. Different factions have come into the region. Immediately in the vicinity where you were at, one of the first things you noticed was that iron mine over here, that got reopened pretty quick. A crew of dwarves came in from Joth and cleared it all up and opened it up again and got it working, which made the blacksmith there, Arn, down in Blackfish Bay, quite happy because there had been a bit of a iron shortage up until that time. All right. And in Bricket's Bottom itself, we'll go to I haven't really made any changes at this point, but there has been some activity. That the proprietor of Fingersmith Manor there, Buckles Fingersmith, you've heard that he's been doing great business selling mead to customers in Joth who seem to have an insatiable appetite for it. And it's also kind of caused a little bit of a shortage of it in this region. His son Trotter has set up a small transport business between Bricket's Bottom and a ferry dock that he has arranged with Jacotus to be built at the bottom of the slope there at Stony Lonesome. And he's been setting up. He's transports people. He hires people, but he transports people to from Bricket Bottom to the ferry, and then he has his his boat come over and take them across the lake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had some success with that. But yeah, so here we are now. It's later in the winter. You, Deanna, and Martin. All right. So here's the setup for this. You two were in Joth, and I'm just going to say I think we'll just go with the fact that you know each other, okay? It makes
Sure. Yeah.
it a little easier, okay? And you were both given a free portal token.
Okay.
You didn't have to buy it, right? Most times you have to have some influence and 100 gold pieces to get a portal token.
Okay, so we got kind of like a junk mail flyer where it was like a 2-for-1?
No, actually, you had a request from a beneficent person in this region to come to the Lake of Talons, and perhaps you would be interested, if spoken to by them, that you would work for them on a task that they had in mind.
Okay, now is this someone that Deanna would know? Because Deanna was raised in Kobaeli, right?
Yeah.
So do I know this person that's putting in this call, or is this a new person?
She would not know this person.
Okay.
So you just know that person's man will be meeting you at the pool to take you to meet your benefactor.
Our patron.
Your patron, okay? Yes. So you took your token and entered the portal pool in Joth, where you were transported by the drowned children of Yorkai, those skeletal shrouded figures who drive the wagons that are also pulled by shrouded skeletal horses through these seemingly underwater tunnels, through some sort of, I don't know, watery vortex on all sides, and yet you have this bubble of air around your wagon. Never quite get used to it, Deanna. You've done it a couple times, and it's still very, very strange. Martin, this would have been your first time taking a portal, such as this, and yeah, so it's pretty amazing. It's shadowy, dark, water. Some things are moving in the water, in the beyond the wall of water. There's things out there. Mm-hmm. You're not sure what they are. And in a short time, though, you emerge from the pool into this halfling community that you know is called Bricket Bottom.
Okay. There
is various merchants standing around with wagons of their own goods that you imagine will be loaded onto this wagon and taken back to Joth. Let's see. Okay. There is also this gentleman here. Okay, so you see that well witch there. You see her?
Well, I'm on the Bricket's Bottom map.
Yeah.
Did you put it?
Yeah, right beside it. There's a couple of photos.
To the left.
Yeah. Oh yes. I see.
So you would know that that's a well witch,
right? Okay.
And she is the one. She is the one who opens the portal.
Okay.
Right. And she is being accompanied by 4 chainmailed. They look like they're acolytes.
Okay.
All right. Maybe you two could make an intelligence check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't make a dex check? No, I'm kidding.
No. That's all.
My intelligence is questionable.
Actually got a 2. I'm actually quite surprised she got it.
Okay. So you've rolled under your intelligence, Theana.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not. I have failed.
Okay, so Theana, you know that these four individuals, the way they're dressed, they are acolytes of Thraxus. And they are obviously guarding this well witch. Right? Also, you see this individual, this halfling, who is accompanied by two rather large mastiffs. And he approaches the wagon and he says, I bid you welcome, my friends, to Cricket Bottom. I am Sheriff Amias Northcote. May I ask what your business is here?
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Actually, I was going to say, well, it's either me or Martin that are going to say it, but
Go ahead.
actually, I'm returning here actually from a long absence of this area. I actually grew up not too far from here, but we're here. Yeah, we're here actually for a job that was offered to us. Basically, at the Lake of Talons is where me and my companion here, and I'll just kind of motion over to Martin, are looking to go. But I see that this area has changed greatly since the last time I've walked around here.
Yes, there has been much changes since the portal opened. Yes, indeed.
Is it true? How far are we from Joth? How many leagues to Joth? Is it true we've traveled how far?
How far is a league?
It's a day's march.
Oh, okay. So that's 12 miles for a normal human, I guess.
About.
Oh, well over 6 leagues, I would imagine.
I cannot believe it. And I actually check my coin purse, make sure I have all of my gear and equipment. I'm a little bit in awe of this.
Yeah, you do know that the drowned children have no use for your money, right, Martin?
Yes, but it was. This isn't normal. So once I verify everything's there, I'll look at Theana and nod. Yes. Apparently not, but that is something I don't know if I want to do again.
The sheriff just chuckles at that. Yeah, I myself have not been through the portal, nor will I. It does not seem natural.
No, it is not.
No. While I bid you welcome here, I must inform you that we keep things under tight control here in the bottom. We do not put up with any unsavory behavior, criminal behavior. So I would hope that you would abide by our laws, which are just rather ordinary. There's nothing of any surprise, but we do not want anybody causing any trouble around here. And as he says that, he just kind of pets the mastiffs that are standing at either side of him. He goes, is that not right, Grinder? And the one dog kind of nuzzles into him. Okay. Is that not right, Tuffy? He says to the other one, who nuzzles into him. And he just kind of looks at you and makes sure you understand that, you're all seeing eye to eye here.
Yeah, I'll just kind of give him like a small smirk and I'll just give him a nod and I'll just let him know that the message is understood.
Right. We are simple working people.
Indeed. Yes, many simple working people have come into the region in the last few months. Yes, indeed. So, as you're having this discussion with him, that's when George, you show up on the scene. You were sent by Jacotus to retrieve two individuals who he wanted to hire to assist with some upcoming tasks that he had planned. We don't know where Lauren got to. Last time you heard, he was going down to to Blackfish Bay, and maybe enjoying some of the fame that he'd garnered from your tales that you've been telling in the local taverns, right?
Likely to waste his gold getting drunk.
Right.
He's a uncouth man, if I do say so.
So, yeah, you were given these two names, Theana and Martin, and we're told that they would be on this trip of the through the portal. And besides the another few, well, I'd say more, not adventuresome types who are on the wagon. You see these two there. So they appear to be the folks that you were looking for.
Oh, this surely can't be right. Are the two of you the hirelings that I'm looking for? I believe their names are Deanna and...
Is George just like looking at his hand kind of thing, and it's all like
No, maybe he's got a placard that says
Deanna
and Martin.
He's got a
like some chauffeur at an airport,
right with a
Yeah, it's written on his hand, but he's traveled quite a ways.
right. It's all yes. That would be us, and you are.
I am George, the Wax Slayer.
The wax.
The wax slayer.
Interesting. Yes. The wax difficult to slay, is it, George?
Have you seen? Probably not, since you're still city slickers. I will show you what it is that we're dealing with.
If it is anything like the acid around Joth, we have indeed seen that wax.
I was going to say, if we could just pause for a bit.
Yep.
Is it known that the wax underneath Joth, was that ever reported back to anybody, or did anybody...
Oh, yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Because that was the second last adventure that Theana went on.
That was reported, and others were doing further investigations into that, so that hadn't been resolved yet.
Okay, so,
right.
Well, yeah, I'm actually fairly familiar with this particular wax. I won't go into the details, but it is not only in the country where it exists.
Does it infect creatures and play with their bones and construct sinewy spiders?
No, that's not
slaughtered goblins and ogres and bugbears.
Christ,
I think you.
What is it
I think
you
you
are
partake.
speaking of?
I'm sorry, Jason. What did you say?
I am surprised by such a description. Are you saying that you have had encounters with such a creature here?
Indeed, I have, and I dispatched the one I did encounter with quite a bit of ease, if I do say so myself.
With that,
Martin, it seems to be Oh, go ahead.
With that,
I was going to say, so they seem to be really easy to defeat then.
Martin
I'm sure you'll have your own opportunity.
Will bow right to that. Well, then you are indeed the Slayer of Wax.
As you're having this conversation, a gentleman kind of walks up out of the crowd towards you. And you can see that he has two companions behind him. They both, all three of them are they're armed with their own weapons, but all three of them have some sort of ceremonial-looking sickle kind of shaped dagger. All right, and they all three of them too are wearing a pendant around their neck that has a red kind of I'm trying to get this right. Okay, so it's kind of like a dark red rubyish sickle moon on a black background, like on an onyx background. Okay,
so a blood moon.
A blood moon, sickle moon,
okay. Sickle
on an onyx background. Okay. So I will let Martin and Deanna, make an intelligence check, and I'll give you both up. Actually, you know what? You don't need a. You know, you guys
No,
won't.
I was going to say Theana
You don't.
worked for them.
You won't need that at all.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Oh
they're
my.
Crimson, you know that they're Crimson Moons.
I know the Crimson Moons because they hired me to do a job at one point. So.
I
there you
actually,
go. Yeah.
I actually made it, so I know,
Okay.
I know who they are, but I've never worked
Yeah.
for them.
Okay. And you would know that the Crimson Moons are backed by the priesthood of Thraxus.
Mm-hmm.
That particular faction. Okay. All right. So they approach you, and the one who looks like the leader, he comes up to Theana, and he goes, "Excuse me. Let me introduce myself. I am Gevdin of the Crimson Moons. Are you by chance Theana of Kobeli?"
Was Kobeli discovered? Because I was under the impression Kobeli was still hidden. I guess so. I'm going to say I am Theana, yes, but I don't know of this Kobeli you speak of.
I must be mistaken. Please apologize. I apologize for myself and my companions. And then he turns to George and he says, "And you are George, the Wax Slayer? Is that what I
am.
heard? I have heard your tales."
It does not surprise me.
Yes, indeed. My companions and I, we are representatives of the Crimson Moons. As you may have known, our faction has set up a chapter house in this area recently, and we are always on the lookout for talented individuals to assist in our efforts to raise the upcoming tribute for Thraxus. We do not have enough members of our crew, our guild here now at this moment, so we are on the lookout for potential members that we can bring into our fold.
Okay.
We were wondering if we could perhaps talk with, and he's totally ignoring Martin. Okay, like I don't. He's just, you know, like it's like you're not there. Right?
Yeah, he's a lowborn, right? It's like, oh, I don't even need to.
So he's like, maybe we could discuss over a cup of mead here in the local establishment.
Okay. Well, we do have a pressing concern with another. Well, we need with another arrangement with another patron, but we can at least spend maybe a couple minutes to hear what you have to offer.
Wait. I'm sorry. Is this a recruitment drive? You're simply looking for members to join the Crimson Moon?
We are taking consideration of new and local talent to the area that might be considered for membership in the Crimson Moons.
Ah, and the Crimson Moons do I look around for the sheriff to make sure the sheriff's no longer here with his mastiffs. In earshot. Is he in earshot?
In earshot. Hold on. Let's just see if he's in earshot. If I roll a 2, he's in earshot. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's not in earshot.
And I'll lean in and say, if by work you mean, say, small-time theft, burglary, heists, and then I'm always available.
Well,
you just threw that right out there, did you, Martin?
Just threw that right out there. Okay, let's see. Oh, I rolled a 2d6. I didn't need to do that. 2d6. Let's see what the reaction is to that.
Oh boy.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow and looks at you and
spits right in your face.
And who would you be?
I am Martin of Joth. I am from the big city. I'm always looking for a fence for, shall we say, found items.
I see. Always looking for a fence, yes. Well, you have given offense this day by speaking to me of theft. We are We are seekers. We go out into the world and find long lost treasures.
That is
to bring
exactly
back.
what I do. 100% what I do.
You mentioned heists and
Well,
robbery.
it depends on who. One man's heist is another man's treasure find, is it not?
You did say burglary.
Thank you,
Well,
Theana.
it's-
You're not helping.
The items you find may not be lost to the owners, but they're lost to the rest of the world.
Ah, yes, there. See, George understands.
Not a thief.
I see.
You're a treasure hunter.
Yes,
He
exactly.
looks to either one of you, to either Deanna or George. Can you vouch for this individual?
I can. He is an honorable man. He does have some questionable qualities every once in a while, but he's all right.
I just met the both of them, so I cannot vouch for either.
Yes. Well, George, we have heard of you, and we have heard of Theana. And if Theana vouches for this individual, then we may consider him. Yes, very well. If you have a moment before you have to leave, we could go to the local establishment over here and discuss a potential employment for you.
Drew, you're buying, right?
Indeed, yes, we. Well,
I suppose so. We're not behind schedule or anything.
No, yeah, and you've got so what your transport is a it's a draft horse cart, drawn cart. George, why don't you roll 8-sided dice for me?
Alright. 5.
Okay, so you see a couple of halflings unloading little barrels of mead and getting them towards the portal pool. All right, and you know that your cart is bound to, it has to go back to the ferry dock at Stony Lonesome. All right.
Okay.
In a little while here, because actually no, this is morning time. So yeah, it's morning time. So you guys would be able to make the trip. It should take about a good part of the day to get there. All right.
So, I'm sorry, can you clarify something? Is the horse and cart, did that come through the portal with them, or I brought the cart here?
You were a passenger on that cart.
Okay.
Now, just to let you know, we were also on a cart because that's how the portals work. You actually end up sitting in a cart, but we are now off that cart and probably throwing our crap onto your cart.
Yes,
Okay.
just to be. Actually, it's a wagon that goes through the. It's a 2-horse wagon that goes.
No,
through
sorry
the
about that. Yeah, it's a full wagon.
Yeah, it's a
right?
full-scale wagon. Okay?
So, it's like going through the tunnel in Willy Wonka stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, except it's less weird.
Yes.
And I'm assuming Martin has never seen a halfling.
Maybe a 1 in 20 chance of ever seeing a halfling in Joth.
Right.
Okay, so you're roll 20
A lot
sided
of-
dice.
A lot of humans. Yeah, a lot of humans in Joth.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're just short humans with hairy feet.
No.
I'm watching curiously these miniature people. These poor people were shrunk when they came through. Were they not, Theana?
Yeah. Shh,
We
quiet,
were
they'll hear
lucky,
you.
I think.
Don't be rude. Shh. No,
Okay, so
they're free drink. Yeah.
they take you over to the Honey Pot Pub. Yes, the Honey Pot Pub, the nightlife center of Brickett's Bottom. Yep. And its ceilings are a little low for you humans, so you gotta kind of bend over a little bit to get in there. And the tables and the booths are a little tight, but you all seem to sit there with your knees up around your chins.
Oh, they haven't changed it where they have like what would you say, like a patio because there's more humans? And
Well,
color
it's
folk coming?
but it's winter time now, right? So you can see there's patio there, but it's closed down for the winter.
Okay, so we just go and sit down cross-legged style.
Yeah, and they buy you some of the finest local mead, they say, right?
All right, and I'm sorry, what was his name again?
His name was Gebden. Gebden, yes.
Geb.
Okay. Someone's bringing me a treat. Ooh, thank you. All right. So, yeah. So after quaffing a little bit of the mead, Gebden gets straight down to business, and he says, as you may or may not know, the area here of the Lake of Talons has agreed to ask the great, the merciful, the beneficent Thraxus to save all from the encroaching wax, and to facilitate that, a tribute must be raised by a date which is, I believe, less than 2 months from now. Yes.
What is the size or nature of this tribute?
The size of the tribute, actually, I do not have that information. Our priest, Pritus, he is in charge of managing the tribute and ascertaining when there is enough there to call down Thraxus. But the last possible date that he can do that is set in stone, and I know that is somewhere around 2 months from now. To that end, we have been doing our best to raise the tribute through small expeditions in the area, but we are limited in numbers and find ourselves in need of outside assistance. One of the things we have become aware of is that there is a dragon in this region who has been quite a pest since early last summer, but none have been able to or have been willing to take him on. And as you know,
we are not dragon killers. You have the wrong people.
Indeed, you clearly are not. But
unless, of course, this dragon is wax, I guess. But
I do not know. But you are possibly tomb raiders.
Indeed.
I've raided tombs in my time.
I have heard some tales of your exploits on a certain farm west of town late last summer. Yes, I have heard these tales, George. Yes. No, that wasn't you.
Yeah, George.
No.
That was
George there? Bomber.
No.
That was about Bomber. That was Bomber.
Wow, may
so
he
what
rest
have you
in
done?
peace. Thraxus,
Okay,
Thraxus, rest his soul.
Yes, that's right. So you're just BSing right now, or is that what you're doing?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh,
I was going to say, I haven't so much.
I am George the Liar.
Yeah,
that's right.
I haven't so much raided tombs, but I'm a trauma survivor, I guess.
I'm a trauma survivor,
and I can tell you, I have never, ever, not one time, ever set foot on a farm.
Okay. It's 8:30. I just got to run in and tuck in Sam.
Okay.
So just give me just a couple of minutes, okay? And I'll be right back.
All right.
And then we'll get on with this. He says, now, my friends, we do not expect you to be dragon slayers. You are clearly not up to the task, yes. But there is a weapon in this area that may help us defeat this dragon and bring its treasure towards the tribute to Thraxis.
I've heard of this weapon. It's a sword belonging to some holy man or knight, I believe.
Yes, you have heard the tale of Sir Esborn. Yes, an ancient knight who once did defeat a dragon that harassed this area. In fact, to this day you will see a rather worn statue of this knight in the town of Blackfish Bay. Yes.
Yes, but is there more to it than that, man? Is there treasure? Are there gems? Is this sword decorated with diamonds? There must be more to it.
I imagine there is much more to it, yes. We, the Crimson Moons, would hire you to retrieve the sword. Whatever other treasure you find would be yours. Of course, subject to any tithing and taxes upon presentation, either here or in Blackfish Bay.
Okay. And do you actually already know where this sword is located, or do we have to find it?
We know that it is in the tomb of Sir Esborn, the burial mound.
Martin will be pulling out his
obvious location.
Obvious, yes.
Martin will.
Other parties have tried over the past few months.
While Martin listens, he will pull out his thieves' tools and unroll the leather satchel and inspect his tools with a smile on his face. I will get to use these. And who would have thought it would be so soon?
Let's see if this...
Jeez, you're just looking to get arrested right away, aren't you?
This impresses him. Let's see.
Sounds like
thief for hire. Thief for hire.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Is the sheriff in the pub? One? No, he's not. Okay. So Gebden is somewhat bemused by your showy display. And he says, "Yes, I imagine if you do take up this task, you will have more than one chance to use those tools of yours."
We wait 1 moment. We have not committed to anything. I have a few more questions.
Of course, I would want you to make an informed decision. Of course, my friend.
So you are worshippers of Thraxis. Does Thraxis approve the killing of his brethren?
The killing of his brethren?
Well, Thraxis is the god of dragons. And you want us to acquire the tools to kill a dragon. So I assume you want the dragon killed.
He is not the god of dragons, no. He is a dragon god, but he is not the god of dragons.
I am confused. Are they not the same? Aren't they the same thing?
No. Thraxis.
So what is he the god of?
He is the protector god of Joth.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I'll just kind of roll my eyes.
And if you consider it for a moment, my friends, we do know that dragons can be, well, somewhat greedy, and do not necessarily want to share their wealth with other dragons.
That is what I am for. We don't ask for him to share. We take, man. We take.
But we need Thraxis to keep us safe from the wax, and this is the bargain that was made so many years ago.
Yes.
In return for the tribute, he keeps our communities safe from the wax.
So I will roll up my leather satchel, all my tools, tie it off, stick it in my pack, and smile. Then just draw a map, and we can be on our way. We can have this done by, say, sun up tomorrow. What do you say, Theana? George?
Well, one moment. We have a previous rendezvous scheduled later this evening. Is there a time restriction on acquiring this sword?
No, of course we would like to get the sword to at least give us time to hunt down the dragon and remove his treasure from him.
But a few days isn't going to.
A few days will not make a difference, no. If you need time to consider, perhaps we can meet you here or somewhere else of your choosing in a few days.
Let me confer with my comrades.
Let me ask one question. Are we the only group you've asked to do this, or are you employing others?
There are other groups that we've expressed our interest in, and some have even gone searching for the sword, if I might be fully truthful with you. Sadly, they have not returned.
Yes, I kind of like exclusive rights if we commit to this.
Of course, if you do take up the assignment, you will have a signed contract of exclusivity.
Good. Because I don't want to be competing with other amateurs.
I see, yes, I quite understand that, yes.
And then I'll turn to George as he has intimated he wants to discuss it with us, right?
Yes, we're going to kind of waddle away from the table.
We crawl.
We're going to kind of crawl away from the table.
And we kind of, huddle around on our hands and knees, discussing.
Damn it, I hate halfling bars.
I'm not opposed to helping these fellows, but and
especially with the
Joth is not.
Board.
Joth is not exactly, my best friend or anything, but he has done right by me so far and brought you here from Joth. So I suggest we return this cart and see what he has to offer before we commit to this.
I'll look at Theana and I'll nod affirmative. Yes, that is not unreasonable, George.
Yeah, I would be for meeting Joth first. He's the whole reason we're out here. And since there's no huge immediacy to gaining the sword for the Crimson Moons, it's maybe something that we can bring to Joth to let him know that that there was an offer and that there might be more coin in it for us here.
Well, I that is something that I wanted to mention to the two of you, that Joth is not friendly towards these Thraxis fellows, from what I understand. He has spoken ill against Thraxis. I stay out of religion as much as possible.
You and me both, George.
I did not mention or speak up against this comment, but I would probably lean towards not mentioning Joth's name to these fellows.
I understand.
All right. Well, Theana, did you have something to add?
I was going to say, did we actually mention Joth yet? I think we just said that we had a patron that we were here to meet.
You didn't mention
we have not. Not to them. No.
Okay. Now, is Joth a known heretic for the Church of Thraxis? Like, are they hunting you? Like, is he like an Advent, advertisements kind of thing? And, has pamphlets of,
wanted
Thraxis.
Maybe Theana has heard bad about him.
Right.
Well, the thing is, but Theana's no fan of Thraxis either. She's a cleric of Huldra, which is just only barely a legal god to worship to, right? Because Thraxis, as far as I know, had a genocidal war with all these other gods to clear them so that he could be the lone god, right?
Mm-hmm. So, Thraxis kind of, the gods of death are inevitable. Right?
Yep.
So,
they're not really gods. They're more of an essence or a concept that exists in physical form, and he can't do anything with it, right?
So Huldra, among other things, is the final judgment.
Yes.
Right? Yorkai is the door, the white door, the veil between the living and the dead, and some aspects of her are quite keen to keep that door closed and guarded so that nothing comes back from beyond it. But Huldra, or Hulda, as she's called in some places, is the final arbiter of judging, whether you go on to the great afterlife or not, and also has the ability to raise the dead and also the undead.
Okay.
Right. So depending on what kind of aspect you worship, there's different cults and sects and stuff like that.
I would say probably more. I'm looking at probably more of what is it? Judgment.
Judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Theana.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
What I thought.
Yeah, I'm not going to be bringing skeletons up.
No.
Although that's a good idea.
Going on. No.
I like where you're going, but that's not Theana. Yeah.
No. Like I said, it's just one aspect, right?
One of
so that's
many.
fine.
Right. Martin will look at George and Theana. Well, there's only one god that I bend knee to, and that is the god of gold.
No, I know him well.
Very well.
So, we're agreed then. We're going to tentatively accept and say maybe give him what, 4 days?
Yes.
Until we return and begin the search for the sword.
I mean, 4 days, maybe. Could we give him 7 days?
We could certainly ask.
Yeah. And that's in case we have more clues to where the sword may actually be held. He said that they may have some idea where the sword may be, but he said it was going to be the tomb of Sir Esborn. Yes. But he didn't say where it was located. So I have a feeling there may be more searching on our part for that particular location.
Oh, yes. All right. So shall we rejoin them and explain our timetable?
Crawl back over.
Just tell them that we do have. Yeah, just tell them that we have a table. Yeah, we'll just go. Yeah, elbows down, east.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Yeah, just put my leg over here. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, in the booth, actually, as you sit down at the booth, you see an old tattered playbill on the wall. It's just barely holding on, and it's for an act that was once played here called Hootie and the Dwarfish. It's been drawn over. Yeah.
George's eyes go wide, and he reaches for. You said it's a playbill, right? So he reaches for it and tries to swipe it.
Oh well, like I said, it's tacked to the wall. It's very old.
Oh, he's removing it.
Yeah, right. This looks like an advertisement for. You were involved in that, weren't you? With trying to track them down or whatever.
He was certainly pretending he was.
Yes. Okay.
He was lying about it.
George, yes, he was.
Actually, you know what?
You wanted to join.
You wanted to join them.
Dwarfish.
That's how it all started off. That's right. Okay, so this looks like an advertisement for their last appearance, which was just before they disappeared. Please roll an intelligence check.
They disappeared.
Okay.
Success.
Okay, so George, you had heard that at some point in last autumn, their bodies were found just off the road between Bricket Bottom and Blackfish Bay. They were found by a traveler, and at the time, one of the things that you heard, and it wasn't too long after they disappeared either, right? But all the bodies had some sort of strange circular markings around their necks. Okay.
Was Hootie among it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because if you recall, and I think that was you, didn't hirelings of Jacotus return Hootie to him?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of them was Gregor,
Right.
and the other was Hilda
Yes.
Eglair, right? And it was shortly after that they were sent off to Bricket Bottom on an assignment, which was just a night or two before the portal opened.
Right. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You see George's eyes become a bit watery as they remembered the discovery of the dwarven bodies.
Right.
And he tucks the playbill into his purse.
Wow, he must really like fish.
Yeah. Martin will drag out an old ratty, snotty rag, filthy for nose blowing, and hand it over to George to wipe away any tears.
Yeah, it's like still sopping wet. Yeah.
So you guys are all having this really soft personal moment when Gevden kind of.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry. I spaced out there for a moment. We are quite interested in performing this task with you, but as we mentioned earlier, we have a prior commitment. We'd be willing to come back here in. Would a week be okay?
Would it be possible for you to meet us at the Shrine of Thraxus in Blackfish Bay?
I don't see why not. Looking at Martin in Vienna.
Okay, let's
I'm
make.
not, I'm not sure how long the journey takes.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
shrugged
how long does it take to get to?
because I just shrugged because I have no idea where we're going with George anyway.
Right.
So.
Okay, so
It's
Blackfish
day or
Bay
two.
from here is 24 miles. So a little over a day.
Okay, and what's our speed on
Day and
the
a half.
ferry?
What's on the ferry? Well, it's about a day to get to the ferry from here,
Yeah.
and then across the lake. It probably takes a couple of hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the ferry goes to the base of Stony Lonesome, right?
Right.
Yes,
Is that
it
what you
does.
said? Yeah.
We'll go to the base of Story Lonesome, but I'm guessing, will the ferry also go to... I guess, does it go to an area in between Breaker's Bottom and Blackfish Bay?
No, no,
Okay.
it goes to Blackfish. There is no place to land
Yeah,
because of the wax.
So it is Blackfish Bay.
Yes, it is
Right.
Blackfish.
Okay.
Brickett's Bottom isn't on the lake.
No.
No, let's go.
Oh, no, it's off of it. Yeah, it's just east of it, right?
Yeah, so we have to travel a day just to get to the lake, and then take the ferry to Stony
Right.
Lonesome. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you see that, right?
Or actually, we have
yeah.
to cross the land bridge to get to Stony Lonesome, don't we?
Yes, there's no other way, unfortunately.
So we really can't take the ferry, can we?
Yes, you
No.
can take the ferry.
Well, we can. Yes, we
George?
can make our way down to the lake
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
from the Stony Lonesome side.
Actually, George, you know that since last fall, Jacotus has moved that stone, that shard that was keeping the wax at bay. He has moved it into the tower.
Yes, that's what he was planning on doing.
Yes, and
Yeah.
somehow you weren't there for it, but he has increased its energy so that it has cleared the wax even more so around Stony Lonesome. So there is quite a good open path down to the water.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, and so that's what you've learned since then. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, so I want to see. Could you roll 2d6 and let's just see how agreeable they are to 7 days? You said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead there, George. Just you can roll a reaction check
Okay.
for me.
Can I add my charisma bonus to?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. All right. And that is. Charisma 15. So what would that be? Sorry. There's not really a place to record this stuff.
No. So what is a react? You talking about a reaction check, Todd?
2d6.
So just 2d6. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
add your-
but what's... But, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the bonus is for...
What's your charisma?
what's your charisma?
15.
Plus 1.
So it'll be
Plus 1.
It'll be plus
Plus 1. Okay.
Yeah.
You can add it afterwards. You don't have to.
Oh.
Oh! My God.
That's not good.
Oh.
That's not good. No.
Okay, so he tells you no, that will not work for them. They will have to meet you in 3 days.
Yeesh. Okay.
Well...
For desperate men, you drive a hard bargain, Gebden.
We have other irons in the fire, my friend.
I lean in and whisper to my colleagues, hopefully where Gebden can't hear, there might be much to gain from this, from taking this job now. It sounds like it's very important. Might be much wealth involved. And I'll kind of look over to Gebden. Are we talking that we will make hundreds of gold? Thousands of gold? What are we going to make on this?
I imagine there will be substantial wealth in the tomb. But there will also likely be substantial danger, too. Make sure you are well prepared.
I'll lean back in and whisper to my friend, see, it might be worth it to pursue this
Yeah,
first.
but well prepared.
Well, let's... if we arrive at Brickett's Bottom by the
Today is the 23rd.
The Shrine of Thraxus.
23rd.
If we're there, we take the job. If we're not, we don't. How does that sound?
If you are not at the shrine by daybreak of the 27th, I'll give you that much leeway. 27th, daybreak. So you may arrive anytime at night.
Okay.
We will accept your employment in this task. If you are not there, we shall look elsewhere. Agreed?
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. We look forward to hearing from you. Good day, gentlemen. And these three acolytes in bulky scale armor have a hard time. It's like getting clowns out of a car
Right.
to get them out of that booth, right? They're like, no, you've got to move
very-
your knee first, and then
Yeah.
my elbow. Okay, all right.
I see him in this very regal red uniform with the prominent red symbol of the red moon in front of him. And he's got this blade off to his side, and he's trying to crawl out of this little out of this little I don't know, this hidey hole. He's like, oh yeah, breathe in, guys. Yeah, no, you go first.
No, that's my arm. Yes, okay. Yes. It's like a game of Twister to get out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
No
All right.
dignity
Well,
in
that
this.
was miserable. Yeah.
Oh. All right. So it's still morning time. So if you get the transport, you can be there by just after nightfall.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. All
So
right.
how...
Yes.
So as we're preparing to leave, George is going to say, how well equipped are the two of you for whatever dangers we may encounter?
So I will touch everything. I'll touch my quiver of arrows and rattle it. I'll tap my backpack. I'll tap my water skin hanging around my neck. I will thumb my torches sticking out of the backpack. I will point out the two large sacks hanging from the backpack. I will rattle my thieves' tools in their leather pouch. I will point to the crowbar strapped to my backpack. the sword on my side and my short bow across my chest, I think I am fairly ready.
There's nothing you wish you had that we may be able to acquire before we leave Brigit's Bottom?
Well, if you have it, then we need not pursue any of these things. Yes, it would be riches beyond my wildest dreams, George, if you have that.
Or a contingent of very cheap, very efficient mercenaries would also be very, yeah. By the way, with Theana, she kind of points at basically she's wearing a set of chainmail armor and carrying a steel round shield that has a Huldra symbol kind of painted on the front of it, with a backpack full of gear. But all she's really carrying is, you see, she's got a sling and basically just like a gnarled-looking cudgel. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
I will shake my little purse, and it sounds pathetically, literally, you can hear like clank clank of a couple of coins in it. I do not have much to hire help, Theana, but George, or maybe you have to hire help?
I can probably manage to scrounge up a few carriers, or are we looking for warriors? They're cost a bit more than just strong backs.
Well, if only you knew a really good warrior, you know.
Now, Theana, you're referring to this if we're take the job for the Crimson Moon, are you not?
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah, I don't think we need one on our journey just to go to Stony Lonesome. I think we'll be okay.
But to answer your question, George, if you have the coin to hire warriors, then by all means, my friend, as many as you can.
Well, let's... I've had some dealings with a couple common employees of Joth. And let's find out their location once we arrive there. Perhaps they are down in Blackfish Bay, and we can simply hire them before we begin this search for Sor Esborn.
There you have it. Theana, does that sound good to you?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
All right, then.
All right, let's
lead the way, George.
All right,
let's go.
Under a light snow is beginning to fall, and the temperature is comfortable for a winter's day, not terribly biting cold. The drover, is that what you call the guy? Drives the wagon? Or driver. Loads everything up, and off you go from Bricket Bottom, making your way towards Stony Lonesome through this light, fluffy snowfall. All right, so let's check on the first part of the journey towards the iron mine and see if we have any encounters.
Nice.
As you're driving here, the driver has told you that since the winter, the situation has become more and more dangerous on the roads. Creatures have come down from the mountains, from the rumble down mountains, and making things very dangerous. And then there's the bandits on the road too. And the worst one is the Kraken. I hear terrible stories about him.
The Kraken. He must be in the lake.
No, the Kraken. He is the one, the one with the arm of the octopus. He and his band of cutthroats have been harrying travelers along the eastern roads for the last few months.
The Kraken's a man?
Martin grips the hilt of his long sword, kind of white knuckles it, and looks about the wagon as we travel.
All right, so as you travel, that's the discussion you're having, and let's see, anything? No. All right, so you get as far as the iron mine halfway through the day, and yes, there you can see that there's a small little operation has been built there. They've opened the mine up. and maybe this is something that you would have seen happen over the last few months, George, is this group of dwarves come in and rebuild, get the operation all up and running again.
Look at those
Yes.
fools. Do you see these dwarves? They work way too hard for their gold. They dig it out, and someone like me just takes it from them. Much better life.
Maybe George,
So-
I don't know. Do you know this is an iron mine, right?
I would imagine. I mean,
Yeah, you
I've
would
been
know
here
that.
for over a year.
Yes, you would know that. Yeah.
So as we're riding by, I'm going to pull out my lyre and begin playing to give the dwarves some entertainment as we pass by.
Ah, okay. All right. Do you have some sort of bardic ability there that you could call upon to impress them with your lyre virtuosity?
Yeah, so I can enchant up to 4 hit dice of human, or not necessarily humans, but persons,
There you
Mhm.
go.
not monsters or animals.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
And I can give them, once they've listened for 1 turn,
Mhm.
they will become my friends. I can give them basic commands if we share a language,
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, yeah.
but nothing suicidal.
Nothing suicidal. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go that far, or you just want to...
No, my intention is not to charm them, but I want to be playing most of the way, and so I can begin to enchant any bandits that may descend upon us as we
Okay.
pass them on,
I see.
after we've passed them on.
But you are trying to impress them with your...
Yes, just trying to lighten their day, the
I see.
dwarves.
Very well. All right, well, let's make a reaction check there, and you can add your charisma to that roll, too, 2d6.
All right. Oh, we're not rolling well.
Okay,
That's
well, they no
Martin
one's throwing
raises-
tomatoes at you.
Martin raises his eyebrows at Theana more than once as he hits a bad note, and sticks my fingers. I stick my fingers in my ears a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem more distracted from your playing than from their work than entertained. But,
Well, if they're not going to throw a tomato, I will.
But they're not going to throw a tomato at you.
When he finishes, I will say, George, I do hope you are better at your other job than you are at playing that thing.
All right.
Well, you may change your tune.
We really wish you
emphasizing
did.
the word tune.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, I really
When-
wish you
when the
changed
ti-
your tune, but yeah.
When the
or
time
tuned it
presents
all.
itself, you may be glad that I can play so adeptly.
Yes. All right. So
But
you
that time
continue
is not
on.
now.
Sorry. So you continue on throughout the afternoon down the trail, and eventually, okay, we'll do one other random encounter roll. Let's just see here. No. Okay. Good. So you pretty much make it to this land bridge that Martin and Theana have never seen this before. There's ruins of an old smaller tower on the east side, and then you see this natural land bridge that spans the river that runs south into the Lake of Talons. And for the first time, you actually see the Talons in the Lake of Talons, and you see these 3 dark basalt, I guess, spires reaching up out of the lake in the middle. And to the south of that, you can see a few miles away to the south, you can see the community, which you would have been told by now is Blackfish Bay.
Yeah,
All right.
Martin, who has never really left Joth, is taking it all in, eyes wide.
Yes.
Taking in all of
Yes.
this epic landscape. I'll point out and mumble as I look at I'll point out toward the Talons and kind of mumble some nondescript phrase, clearly overwhelmed by this lake.
Mm-hmm.
George leans into Martin and says, "There is talk of spirits that inhabit those talons that haul the loft into the water.
Oh, and I'll pull my hand away from pointing and pull my cloak up tight around me and kind of sink down into the wagon as I watch from a distance.
Something else that mainly Martin would have, because Martin's never been outside of Joth, right?
Right. He made
Okay,
his,
so
he made
one
his
thing,
career of stealing from the residents of Joth, right?
Right. I mean, Theana was raised outside of Joth in Cole Bailey, so this brings back fond memories of her this area.
Well, we obviously, I mean, we've probably heard stories of Stony Lonesome the whole time and seen it. But
Yeah, you would have seen Stony Lonesome from Cole Bailey, yeah. But now from this vantage, I mean, okay, so first of all, the air is so fresh here compared to Joth, right? It's the air in Joth just stinks.
Yeah.
People, sweat, filth, right?
Yeah.
And other things. So you've never had such fresh air. So it's makes you a little giddy, maybe, And also too, Theana, you now see from this vantage point the extent that the wax has moved south from where it overwhelmed Kobaeli on the west side of the river there, and has come down towards the Lake of Talons.
Okay.
Stony Lonesome, though, is peculiarly not being surrounded by wax. It's being kept at bay somehow. All right. Okay. Now, this map is not to scale in any sense, okay?
Right.
This land bridge is a lot closer to the tower than is indicated here, okay?
Okay.
So it's not a...
I expect you to redraw it.
You're not going to get that, okay? Sorry. So it's not like you got it in... Yeah, like it's any time between the iron mine and the tower is where an encounter would take place, okay?
Right, gotcha.
But you do not get an encounter, right?
Good.
And by nightfall, you get to Stony Lonesome.
Okay.
Let's see, where's my map? Okay. Okay. So, where are we here? So we go to this little quickie map I made of the area. Okay. Land bridge comes in from over. No thanks. Comes up from over here. So you travel, and this trail leads towards Stony Lonesome. Over here, you can see a graveyard, which maybe has, I don't know, half a dozen graves.
A lot. Yeah.
Maybe more. George,
now I know why Lauren didn't come along. He was burying all of our dead bodies from the last session.
He's been busy.
Yes.
There's probably more than that, but George, you do know that your fallen companions were buried there, along with. Remember, you guys spied bodies in the wax at the rear of the tower.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right, and you can see from the elevation lines there that the back of the tower it's somewhat steep compared to the front of the hill there. Okay, but the wax has been, I haven't put it in where it is there, but it's moved considerably back from the whole hill.
Okay.
Yeah, it was going up the hill, right?
Yeah, it was like almost here. Right? Jacotus had his encampment down here. But you know that he's moved it into the tower and somehow amplified its power over the winter. So it's keeping a considerable amount of wax at bay in this immediate area. Also, as you approach, you can see that there is quite a bit of scaffolding around the outside of the tower. Signs of some sort of construction going on. And you can see some sort of beacon light on the top of maybe a flaming brazier of some sort, and lights coming out of various arrow slits in the tower.
Are there a lot of tents and campers, people milling about, or is it pretty empty?
Nothing outside.
Okay, nothing outside. Okay.
No, nothing outside. And in the dying light, you do make out this small shed down by the water.
Okay.
Is there a boat there?
No, there's no boat there.
Okay.
All right. The driver says that he imagines it will be in the morning. It will arrive.
No, that should be fine.
Yeah. Yes. And well, yeah. I mean, you've had no problem staying with Jacotus before.
Right.
Here, he has worked over the winter. He's had a crew in working on things. It's not quite up to, it's no Ritz, but it'll do in a pinch, right? It's a lot better than it was when you guys first came to the tower. So you approach the tower and ask to identify yourselves as you approach the front gate. Through the iron bars that are there now, that have replaced the old rickety wooden doors that you broke through last summer. Yeah. All right. And they recognize.
The pit is filled in?
Yes, the pit has been filled in. Yes.
Nice.
And sure enough, in a short time, you are led in. You are given food and drink, and led into the bottom floor of the tower, where guests such as you are billeted. And in a short time, Jacotus, the white-haired sage of Stony Lonesome, comes down and says, George, you have returned with our friends from Joth. I am so
Yes.
happy. So happy
They were
to see
waiting.
you.
They were waiting when I arrived at Brickett's Bottom.
Very good, very good. And he walks up to both you and shakes your hands vigorously. Mm-hmm. And you can see he's very enthusiastic about having you both here. I have heard so much.
I will take an advantage to fill whether he's wearing rings, jewelry.
He is wearing some rings and jewelry. Yes, he is.
So I make note of that as I shake his hand.
Oh, yeah. You can see he's even got
So you're going to try to slip them off as he shakes it?
He's just noting that he's jewel beads in his hair and stuff like that, right? Okay. So, please, let me get you food and drink before we talk about our business. Yes, indeed. How was your journey? As he's having assistants pour you wine and bring some sort of meal towards you at a table there in this chamber.
I was going to say, it was surprisingly pleasant, actually. The journey from Joth and from Bricker's Bottom to Stony Lonesome was actually quite uneventful. It kind of reminds me of this territory. It was nice to kind of walk through it again.
I'm glad to hear that. I have heard the roads have been somewhat dangerous these last few months with various unsavory characters and creatures now skulking around in the vicinity. Yes. But yes. Good. Well, again, I am glad you are here. Cheers to you all, he says, and raises a goblet of wine for you all.
And Martin will mirror him and then drink heartily from the cup.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
And George as well.
Okay. Yes.
I will raise my cup, but I will only take a small sip. This is pretty.
Oh, let me see here. I'm gonna make a deed while you roll, see if you know. Oh yeah. Jacotus catches that, and just kind of has a small smirk on his face, somewhat bemused by your reluctance to partake, showing such distrust. But he's not insulted by it. You can tell.
It's not so much distrust. It's just that if I spill it on the chainmail, it's going to take forever to get it all mopped up. But
Yeah.
Very much.
And it's cold. Yeah.
Yes. Well, though, please sit by the fire, and there is a newly installed fireplace in this chamber too, so it's quite warm. And there's, there's rugs and tapestries around to make it a little more cozier for everyone, right?
Okay. And
All right.
yeah.
So he's sitting there chewing on some fine pork.
What?
Oh yeah, he's eating pork right now.
Are you eating?
I'm eating pork. So's Dakota's.
Okay.
Dakota says eating pork or Todd
yeah.
is eating pork?
We're both eating pork.
I think.
Okay? I'm really getting into this, okay?
Oh, okay. You're just taking it to the whole other level. You're learning.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
It's also
Character
wine.
That is good.
Okay.
So yes, so my friends, the reason I've asked you here is George and I, although I don't think George is aware of this yet, but I'm hoping he will agree to help in this situation. We have a former associate who has found herself in somewhat of a sticky situation. Yes. Her name is Hilda, and she is a sword for hire that has served me faithfully for these last few months. Unfortunately, she has run afoul of the local constabulary and has been...
What?
Yes?
What constabulary?
The constabulary that was set up between Brickett's Bottom and Blackfish Bay by the two reeves.
Ah.
To police, to guard the roads between the two communities. Surely you'll have heard of this.
My guildmaster in Joth promised me there would be very little constabulary.
Oh, to be sure, it is not an imposing force. No. It was only by sheer luck that they were able to capture her, I'm sure. She is an accomplished swordswoman, yes, indeed. But be that as it may, she has run afoul of the law, yes, and I would like to somehow secure her release so that she can assist me further in future endeavors. To that end.
Just point me in the direction. I will break her out. Very easily done.
Ah, yes, I knew you were exactly the man for the job, Martin, from what I had heard. Very good, very good. I appreciate your enthusiasm for the task. Yes,
yes.
Indeed.
Do you know where she's being held exactly?
Well, yes, of course. She is being held by the Longfangs. Yes, in fact, the Longfangs have been using the winter to build holding cells for prisoners of various crimes who are being kept aside in case they are needed to fulfill the tribute of Thraxus. And with that, you can see he's very. You can see tears well up in his eyes almost as he says such a thing.
I apologize, Chakotis, but the tribute is gold, is it not?
Don't be so certain, my friend.
Oh.
In fact,
and by Longfangs, you mean simple and fair gentle maidens?
no, not those.
No, they're a group of... I'm not sure how to describe them, other than... They seem to be woodsmen of some sort, but they're not far between here and...
The Longfangs are a faction of seekers, so to speak, but their main task is to ensure that the trial pits of Joth are supplied with creatures that can battle those accused of crimes to the death. They are also responsible to keep the jails of Joth and communities that serve Thraxus.
So
keep those jails.
This might be a little more dangerous than I had anticipated. Then,
yes, you see, if a community cannot pay the tribute with gold, then it will pay with human sacrifices.
And you,
And if
Jacotus,
there is
are you happy about this, Jacotus? Is this something that you?
no, I am not. And he
Oh,
turns away. He turns away from you when he says
good,
that,
good.
and you can see he's having
Then
a moment about it. And then finally, he kind of gets his act together and he turns back towards you, and he says, "No, no. In fact, at its worst, if the jails are not full, communities have been known to carry out a lottery to fulfill the tribute of human sacrifices." And as he says that, you can see that he almost
yeah,
cracks up and loses it. So something's happened to him.
yeah. Martin would empathize, and his eyes might well a little bit with tears as he's empathizes. Yes, that is not something that I find tolerable myself, and I'll look away as I wipe my nose.
Mm-hmm. So,
Well, oh, go ahead.
no, continue.
So George was going to say, well, it sounds like we must save Hilda from this fate. She is far too lovely of a woman to be risked in such a unsavory form of sacrifice.
Aye, yes. She's being held at the Longfangs commune, if you will, where they have their lodge or den or whatever they call it these days. They have been... Yes?
Have the Longfangs grown in size since the portal has opened?
Yes. He tells you also that they have built a kind of a mini version of the trial pits in Joth. Now, if you remember, way back, I think that was your character, wasn't it, Justin?
Yeah.
You guys started off in the trial pits of Joth. I think that was like back when we were playing it with DCC.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me and That was where we started. So that was where back end Weird started
Yes.
the trial.
Yes.
We were fighting one of the blue men.
Yes, that's right.
Or two blue
Okay.
men. Sorry. Yeah.
Two blue men, yeah. So yes, so they have created a version of the trial pits here and cells or cages to keep those unfortunates that have been taken in by the constabulary or for whatever crimes they may or may not have committed, but they are not facing their fate in the trial pits at this time until it is determined whether or not they will be sacrificed to Thraxus. So I do not wish to wait to find out. I wish to free fair Hilda from this fate.
How far? How long from here for us to get there?
Let's see. If you were to take this wonderful new ferry boat that has recently been put into service by a gentleman in Ricketts Bottom, it is a few hours trip across the lake.
No,
and then...
we would have to go around the lake. I have heard, and I look at George, that there is mysterious forces there that call you to it. I will not be on a ferry on the lake.
I was merely teasing you, Martin.
Teasing me?
You seem so wide-eyed. I felt I should add another layer of mystery to the waters.
Yes, I should know you better, George. I should know you better. Go then. Finish Jacotus.
Yes, it is but a few hours trip across the lake to the south, and then a half-day's journey on foot to the lodge of the Longfangs. You could easily be there if the boat arrives in the morning. You could easily be there by the noon hour.
I'd rather not infiltrate their camp at the height of the sun, even here in the winter. Under the darkness of night would be far more effective for me.
I imagine if you were to take the road, it would take you more than a day to get there under the current conditions, I believe. Yes, probably one day and a half easily. 2 days and a half.
I would think the ferry would be safer, especially with these bandits about. Perhaps we could just kill some time on the lake, and and we could still arrive by nightfall. I would agree that
Yes.
it is.
As long as we have the cover of darkness, it does not matter. But I'd rather not. I'd rather not walk right into their camp at noon hour.
We can make our plans as we wait on the lake for the sun to begin to set.
Good idea. We can scout them while the light is high.
To be sure, you are aware, it is a half-day's journey from Blackfish Bay to the lodge.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yes. Most people on foot take the hospitality of the Longfangs before heading north towards Ricketts Bottom, because it is somewhat of a long trip by foot. If you have one of the few horses that have been brought into the area, of course, you can easily make the trip in a short time.
Unfortunately, it sounds like the Longfangs are no longer quite as hospitable as they were before.
No, they are taking a different type of guest. Indeed.
Yes, okay. So we sleep on it and get on the ferry in the morning then.
Very well. All right. So he agrees to show you his hospitality for the evening, and beds will be made up for you here on this floor.
Yeah, Martin will sleep soundly, as he has seen much in this first day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. And yes,
George is going to fall asleep, dreaming of Hilda falling into his arms after being rescued. If you remember, he was quite smitten with her. When
yes,
the first time
he
that
was, wasn't he? Yes.
Yeah, this has got to be painful to hear Hilda's been taken captive, right?
Yeah, and there's a picture of her. You guys under the character things. I think there's a picture of her.
Yeah, I remember. Was she the redheaded one?
Yeah, she's a redheaded one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The large, sinewy arms.
Yes, I don't know where we. I think one of you put that picture up of her. You got that from somewhere and put that up, and I was like, yeah, that's her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see if I can find her, throw her up on here. No, we'll wait till we get to her. Okay. All right. So, let us see. Okay. So, the weather had been getting a little heavier throughout the day. So by the time you did arrive there, it was coming down pretty good, the snow. I would like Martin, roll 6-sided dice, and if you get a 1 or a 2, we've got some sort of weather problem.
1.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. So you guys wake up the next day, and there is like a full-on winter storm going on.
Yeah.
And no sign
I
of the boat.
wake up freezing, and then I'll glance out one of these holes in the stone. Or push open one of the wooden lookouts.
Shutter sort of thing that they'll have on the inside.
Is it just blowing, or is it like thick snow?
Oh, it's thick snow. It's blowing and windy. You might call it a blizzard.
This is going to slow us greatly, George. We may need horses.
No, horses wouldn't be good in this type of weather. You need a sled. Something like that, or just, snowshoes or something like that, just to be on the surface of the snow.
Yes.
Horse is not going to get very far.
Yes.
Is
at the mention
is
of
the lake frozen?
Good question. No, it's not. It should be. It should be.
Oh,
But there is no ice on this lake at all.
wow.
I wonder what is taking the ferrymen so long.
Yes.
Through the snow, you can just barely see the talons,
Okay.
and you can't see Blackfish Bay at all, nor any lights from it. Now, you mentioned sled, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
I just looked at it. I was like, "But the fair." Well, I mean, yeah. I don't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. No. I'm just wondering, like, if Jacodus has outfitted. No, he doesn't own that wagon. That's right. So that wouldn't be an option. Nope. All right. And
The sad thing is this
that wagon
storm.
would have waited till this morning to go
Right.
back to Bricket Bottom, right?
Yeah.
Whether they think that's advisable or not, but
The sad thing is this storm would be the perfect cover to break Hilda from the Longfangs. But it'll take us now, I don't know how long to get there.
yes.
Is the ferry arrived at the dock?
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
No, it's not there first thing in the morning. Maybe they're delayed. Maybe
Yeah.
Jake Hodis suggests you wait. They have been fairly good at keeping their schedule. But, of course, under these circumstances, this might cause delays. Yes? Yes.
Well, we were going to kill some time out on the lake in order to arrive at night, so perhaps we can give it a few hours and see if they arrive.
Okay. So, in this many hours... Oh, okay. In 1 hour. All right. Lucky for you. You eventually see a boat, a sailboat, a river transport boat make its way out of the blinding snow and arrives at the docks. Right? You know that the one driving the boat is named Stallworth. He is employed by the same gentleman who runs the transport wagon back and forth between here and Brickett's Bottom. All right. So he apologizes for being late. The weather was to blame. He assures you. But please load up, and we will try and get back before this gets any worse. Yes.
Does he deliver any people as he drops off here?
Let's see if he does deliver any people. Nope, no
Okay.
people.
Just curious. Okay, so he's here strictly for us. Okay.
He just goes back and forth every day.
Okay.
He does have some supplies for Jacodus.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and he also has some supplies that are going to Cricket Bottom,
Okay.
but he will leave them in the shed here, which is securely locked.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Martin watches all of this very carefully. Right. That he unloads supplies. He locks them in some pathetic, feeble lock
Yeah.
on the door of the shed. Just taking all of this in. Yes. Yes.
Take it all in. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Super. And so in a short time, probably another hour or so, he's ready to set sail again. The wind is coming from the northwest, which is going to push you towards the eastern shore of the lake.
Okay.
And we will make our way towards Blackfish Bay.
As we travel,
Yes.
I'll ask Stallworth. I'll sidle up beside Stallworth. So, have you had any run-ins with the Longfangs? Do you know anything about the Longfangs, Captain?
Captain, I don't have a lofty name like that. I'm just a simple sailor. No. I've had no run-ins with the Longfangs. Other than I know that they've been somewhat successful capturing or slaying various creatures in the region. Yes, I guess there's quite the appetite for some of these things to be brought back alive to those those lordy types in Joth that need their entertainment. I guess.
Yes.
I don't know about those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will spit at the when he says Joth. I'll spit. Yes, Joth, the foul place. What are the locals here at what is it, Blackfish Bay? How do they feel about the long fangs?
Well, I would say it's kind of a mixed bag. They see that they're protecting the region from the various creatures that have been coming down from the Rumble Downs since this the wax, I guess they call it, yes, wax. Since it's come to the area, they've been there's been an influx of nasty creatures, and the Longfangs have been quite successful at eliminating some of them or capturing some of them and transporting them.
There's some good they do for the region.
Yes. There is, of course, this I guess you want to call it the jail that they've built there.
Yes. And speaking of that, do you know a Hilda? Have you heard of a Hilda?
Hilda.
And I'll kind of wave to George. Could you describe Hilda for the man?
Oh, yes, she's very tall, and you can see he begins to swoon a little bit, and has long, flowing red hair, and large, sinewy arms that she just wants to wrap around you.
Yeah, Martin furrows his brow a little bit at the description and says, "Yes, a lovely thing, Stallworth. Have you heard of her?"
Let me see here. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. So what I'm doing here is it's my way of doing like if people are known, right?
Yes.
I roll under their level or under on a D8.
Okay.
In this area. Okay.
Nice.
And so yes, so he has definitely heard of you. I'm sorry, of Hilda.
So have you heard of her crimes? Then. What crime is it she should have perpetrated that would have gotten her arrested by the Longfangs?
I think from what I heard, she was tied up with some bandit or something, some bandit group. Kreskin? No.
Was he not also captured? Have you heard?
Kraken. That's the one.
Kraken.
This bandit called the Kraken. Yes.
We've heard of him. He's terrorizing the roads between Brickett's and
good for us. He's no sailor. It's actually been quite good for our business. Yes. We have.
Was he not captured? Have you heard?
No, he has not been captured. But I imagine there is quite the reward out for his capture. Yes.
Yeah, I'll look to George and Thana, and I'll kind of nod them to follow me along the deck to privacy, away from Stallworth. So we might have the option of purchasing her freedom, or maybe we could make the deal to trade Hilda for the capture of this Kraken.
That's a possibility. I was thinking perhaps we just let loose some of these creatures and rescue Hilda in the chaos.
Well, that is another way to go. Are you good at fighting creatures? Because we may well find ourselves fighting creatures.
Of course.
Oh. So you and Thana would release the creatures, and I would rescue Hilda. Is that your plan?
I was thinking perhaps I could rescue Hilda. And...
Yes. Yes, but can you pick locks effectively?
No, but I may be able to convince the guard to turn over the keys.
Ah, yes, that's right. You play that foul instrument in such a way that, well, hopefully you'll make better noise with it. Good, good. Athena, what do you say?
Well, I was going to say we come into a lot of struggles with this particular situation, especially with breaking her out. Even if we were to manage to sneak in, we have to be very careful because apparently we were recognized by a couple of strangers already in Becker's Bottom. I don't know how far that information will travel with at least with me and with George, anyways.
Yeah.
Not to mention the deep snow would easily show where our paths are coming from, which is another issue entirely. I would say that try to free her legitimately as best as we could.
Yeah, I mean,
find out
we
like
might
how
be
much
able
it
to
costs.
yes, we might be able to just buy her freedom.
Which I'm kind of on board for. So I would prefer that.
She is but a commodity, right? She will go to the pits. What would they pay for her in Joth to send her to the pits?
Right, and you're saying that you would like to get. I'm sorry, I was kind of in another memory, just in my mind there for a moment. You were talking about getting the Kraken.
Or we could make them a deal that we would maybe capture the Kraken and exchange her for him.
Which would probably even make a better tribute anyways, seeing how he's not... doesn't sound like he's entirely human.
No.
Make for a more interesting fight.
Yes, and it sounds like he has a greater reputation as a bandit and a brigand than she might.
Yeah, I would probably forward with that plan more than breaking her out.
George, do you know if Hilda is great affection for this Kraken? Would she be against turning him in?
I must be honest, I don't know the Kraken or his relationship with her.
That's something you might want to find out before you attempt to court her, George.
As you say that, the boat shudders.
Oh.
Something strikes the side of the boat.
Yeah, Mark
almost causes Stalwart to kind of fall over from the impact.
The boat was sickened by your sad romance.
Martin drops prone, face down on the deck. The minute he fills the boat like rock, he drops directly face down.
The wind has pushed you towards the eastern shore, where you've been told there's wax on the eastern shore, but it's all snow covered right now.
But we have the wax slayer with us, so I'm not worried about the wax.
That's right. But be that as it may, you're like maybe 20 yards out from the shore when something kind of just rams into your boat, right?
Holy cow!
Yeah, and it was so hard that there was like a little spring of water, like there's a little breach in the hull. Right? Yeah, and as you look now, you can see that there is a fairly sized fish of some sort rounding about and coming back for another strike at the boat.
Okay, I'll slide my short bow off and knock an arrow and prepare to shoot at it when it gets into range.
Yes.
Okay.
And George will load his crossbow and attempt to fire at it.
Okay. All right. And Stalwart says, God damn, it's a damn son of old Gupper. Oh gosh, I thought he would be sleeping off the winter. He must be wakened by the I don't know, but oh gosh, I hope he doesn't make us sink. And he tries his best to get the boat going, catching the wind as much as he can without driving it into the shore, right?
Would I be able to help? Would I be able to help him with that? I don't think I'm going to be very useful.
I think it's going to be get on that rudder, right?
Right.
And you and him work together to keep from being driven into the shore by the wind. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's roll initiative, and we'll see. Who's got? Somebody's rolled a d6. Okay, there's just a single. Okay, 4.
Yeah. Do you want us to modify this by our dex or no?
This is group.
Right.
Dexterity, so you don't need to do that. Okay. So we'll go with this 3. Okay, so you've got.
You rolled the wrong one.
What did I roll? I rolled a d4. Oh no. It's a tie.
Tie goes to the heroes.
tie goes to the heroes. That's right.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. So no, that's true.
Yeah, so I will fire at it as soon as it gets in range. As it arches its back or its fin or whatever up out of the water, I will let loose an arrow.
Right. Okay. So go ahead.
And 13 with my dex, +1 with my dex.
13 will hit. Okay.
Okay, and I think it does 1d6, right?
Believe so.
Yeah, it does 1d6 damage.
Yes,
so
yes.
2 points.
2 points damage. Okay.
And I'm down to 19 arrows now.
Ooh, okay, 2. Okay, good. John?
All right. Oh, modifier. I got not a natural 20, but I rolled a 20.
Oh, very good. Okay. Roll your damage.
All right. Crossbows D6. 5.
Okay. Okay. And that's that. Okay. Yeah. Deanna, what's your strength?
Not good.
No, not good. Like what?
It's a 5. I'm rolling at -2.
Nice.
Oh, thanks for coming out. Okay. All right. I'll determine what. Let's see. Great. Okay. So I'm going to do this live, so you guys can see. Well, this is what his strength is.
Oh, God.
7.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's a -2, I believe. Oh boy. Okay, so he's got to roll under his strength, and you're really not gonna be.
Yeah, he's going to tell me to sit down and.
He's pretty much just gonna tell you to sit down. Okay. So every time, so I said you were about 20 yards out from the shore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll say is every time he fails, I'm going to roll a D4, okay? And that's how many yards you get pushed in. Okay?
All right.
So here we go. Get under 7.
Nice.
Yay, okay. All right, so we're maintaining that.
Nice.
That 20 yards out. Okay. Next round. No, it's the fish's turn. That's right. Okay. So it's pretty much coming after a station. I mean, as far as it's concerned, there's no. If he rolls a 1, he misses. Okay.
Okay.
Because he's ramming. He's ramming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he hits again.
Okay.
Right. And again, more of a leak in the ship.
Oh, damn.
In the boat.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Yeah. And Stalwart's. Let's see. He says, I don't know. He says, I think if that hits us about 4 more times, we're gonna go down.
So I bark at him. Then steer toward the shore, man.
The wax is there.
Ah, hell. But I'd rather sink in shallow water than deep water.
Very well then. All right. Okay, let's roll initiative.
Okay, I'll let John roll this one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
4. Okay, Ty again. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to probably act this turn because I'm apparently useless at the boating, or assisting with the boating, so.
This said it was going to be a 3-hour tour. Yeah.
Alright, so who's going first?
I believe
you guys go first.
I need to go last because I have to reload the crossbow.
Right. Okay, so I'll fire again.
Okay.
With a +1. Got him again. 13.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And hopefully some more damage. 4. Nice.
4.
So I'm down to
Okay.
18. Hopefully
Okay.
you have stones, slinging stones there, Thana. Deanna.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So go ahead, and he's within short range.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is actually just a straight up D20 roll.
Okay.
4.
A 4.
Did I hit?
No.
All right. No.
No.
All right. I'll just mark the bullet.
Okay,
All right.
mark the bullet off. Let's see. I got to put this down to small. So okay. All right. Yeah. So he should be able to put that thing into shore at the end of the next round. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. So John. Okay. So George is gone. The end's gone. Mark,
George hasn't gone.
Oh,
but
sorry.
the fish,
You're loading.
the
That's
fish,
right. Okay.
The fish
That's right.
goes before George fires.
Okay. All right. So it rams again.
Oh, damn.
19. Ooh, wow, good hit. But again, it's going to hit anyways, unless I said like you roll a 1. Okay, so the leak is getting worse, right? That puts us down to 3 rounds.
Okay.
Or they think it's gonna. Stallworth thinks, but he's pretty sure he can get this thing into shore before that, into the shallow water.
Okay.
All right. Okay, George.
All right, here we go. He finishes winding back the crossbow and drops the thing in and fires. And no, he misses, probably with a 10.
Okay. All right. So, next round.
We'll let Justin roll this initiative. Nice.
4.
We're all getting
5.
Oh damn,
Okay.
Justin.
Yeah, now you're really taking on water.
Oh shoot.
Okay, but he thinks he's going to get this thing into shore.
Okay.
By the end of this round. Okay, so do you want to keep attacking? The water is getting shallower.
No, I'm going to save my arrow, I think, and prepare. I'm going to put my bow back on and prepare that I may have to disembark.
Okay.
Depends on how shallow it is. If it's shallow enough the boat just gets hung up, then we can stay on the boat.
Yeah. All right. The rest of you?
George is going to continue reloading his crossbow.
Okay, so you're going to fire at the end of the round after...
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually fire, because you never know. Maybe that one shot that's going to take it down.
No, you never know. Okay.
18.
18.
Nice.
Whoa. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
For 4.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay.
Direct in the eye.
Nice. Okay. We're going to make a morale check.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah. We've lost over half of its hit points.
Nice.
So, let's see. What is the morale of this thing? 9. Okay. Right. So here we go. Oops. I'm in the wrong one here. Oh. There. Wrong window. Okay. So, 2d6. Dun, dun, dun,
Roll
dun,
high. Roll high.
dun, 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 dun. No.
Damn.
No. So it follows you into the shallow water.
Oh.
But
We're going to need a bigger boat.
no, it gets to a point where it just gets too shallow for it, right? And it has to give up the chase.
Okay.
Okay? So you're pretty much run aground into shallow water.
Okay.
It's kind of a rocky shoreline.
Right,
I mean, like
okay.
the under the water is rocky, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Do we wanna put the hiatus on the tail there, just because it's getting pretty close?
Yeah. Good. It's a good place to draw the curtain.
Okay. I will do one more thing though before we draw the curtain, right? So you're there. The fish has retreated, and you're on the shoreline, probably somewhere in this area. Okay.
Oh, damn. We're close.
You imagine, right? And the snow's falling, blowing, and then out there somewhere in the storm, you hear a mournful cry.
Uh-oh.
All right, and then it gets clearer and clearer, and you can hear somebody is calling, Hootie! Hootie!
Hootie?
Yeah.
Hootie. Okay. I cut my eyes at George as I recall that the poster that he pulled from the wall had Hootie and the Dwarffish. Yes.
And through the storm, through the snow, you can see a large man-shaped lumbering shape dragging something behind it. You can't quite make it out, but it's walking south along the eastern shore. Very vague, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calling out the name until it fades into the storm again.
What the hell
And
was that?
That was awfully weird.
That's right.
George, have you heard about what's been going on the east side of the lake?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Okay, let's see if your character does. So make an intelligence check.
Alrighty.
Success.
Nice.
Just made it.
Just made it.
15 with a 15 intelligence.
Okay. So, actually, aren't you supposed to roll under it? Under it, I think.
Under, yeah.
Under, yes. So that did not make it.
On his intelligence?
All right.
Oh, well, it says success.
It does? Oh, it's saying in there. Okay.
What's your intelligence?
15.
Oh, yeah, you made it.
Oh, okay. It must be because built into the character sheet. Okay, so you have heard tale of a large, corpulent, ghostly vision wandering the eastern shores, calling out for something called Hootie, dragging behind it its entrails all tangled up in driftwood and other
Oh wow.
debris from the beach. All right? Yeah, and now you've finally had a vision of it. And that's where we'll pause for tonight.
Nice. Awesome. Outstanding, Todd.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Fun.
Nice, Todd.
Okay, good. Not a lot